As mentioned in other videos, I like at least once a week to try to do some endgame exercise, to try to see some endgame books, because I must admit my sin. I watch the openings because I try to create new opening repertoires, and maybe I spend too much time on that. That is totally useless, because unfortunately today the openings are made by engines, and if you don't have a big memory. But what I notice, and this is the truth, is if you are equal to another player, or also slightly inferior, but you are able to keep the position drawish in opening and middle game, then the only chance you have to win the game, it's in the end game. And this is true honestly for the best of all, Magnus Carlsen. If you see his games, he is grinding grandmaster after grandmaster in the end game. So another flaw of my character is that I like to learn by doing. I don't like really to read long theoretical manuals, because I fall asleep. I'm sorry, I fall asleep. And so I found a perfect book for me, because this is made by 450 endgame exercises. Can you imagine? 450. So I have material for all year long. Honestly, I think if a person would be serious about chess, he should spend like a month on this book. You decide, that we are at the end of December, or nearly the end of December. So January we have all our resolutions. One of them is I want to learn the endgame, and so you spend January only learning the endgames from this book. There are many chapters. Okay, so the author divided the book in 9 chapters. The chapters obviously have different kind of endgames. There are pawn endings, transition to pawn endings, rook endings, and so on, opposite bishops, and so on and so forth. They are all exercises, so it's a must. It's a must book. So without further ado, I would like to show you position 111, where is black to move. Like I told you, by one of these, you turn it and you start to think, what would you do if you were black? Because this guy is going to promote in 3 squares, and if you are not able to stop it, you are going to lose the game, right? Or at least it's a draw. Instead, if you are able to stop that guy, probably you will not lose. I don't know. What do you want to do? It's black to move, okay? So you are seeing the position from black side. And I hope you pause the video. Now, if you pause it for enough time and found the solution, I will give you the solution from the book. Okay. So the game is between Alekseev and Palkovich. It was played in Novi Sad in 2016, and black was able to win. Can you imagine? Black was able to win. How did black begin the game? With rook f1 check. This intermediate check is a standard ploy in such position, winning a key tempo. If you try to play this, it's too slow, okay? And then of course you can read all the comments made by the Carsten Müller, that is the authority in this time about endgames. So rook f1 was the right move to play. White plays king e7. So after king e7, what do you play? Okay. Obviously here it gives you a line with king g7, and I will give it to you out of showing a pattern so you can understand what's going on. How does black win in this case? King c7, g6, king d7, king h7, Obviously, at this point, you need to give check because you don't want that to go to promotion square, right? And you want him to lose a tempo, which he does with king g8. And then, boom, you bring your king once more near. After g7, obviously, you don't want to give a stalemate, right? Because if you play this, it's stalemate and you have lost. So you have to move the rook on g1. He moved this here, but at this point your king is here and the game is over. Because once, where does he go? If he plays this, he loses the pawn and it's over. If he plays this, instead, rook h1 is checkmate. Okay, so guys, let's return back to the position where it was, just to show you, sorry. Okay, I return to the initial position, so we are all clear. The fourth move was rook f1, king e7 trying to shoulder that guy. Then there was, obviously, here you need to find another move that is good, okay? And rook g1 is the move. Notice, this kind of simple endgame is something you really need to know, because this will happen in your game. Maybe some more complicated endgames, I don't know. But this kind of things, unfortunately, it happens often. King f6. And now you bring the king near, king c7. g6, king d7, okay? And now there is g7. Of course, if you get the book, you will see the analysis. But what do you play here? Obviously, you play king e8 to stop that pawn from promoting. Now, instead of g7, here there is the analysis, what happens if he plays this, right? Because that's probably you want to know. You need to gain a tempo again with rook f1. And after king g8, king e7. Now, I don't know, what do you want him to do? g7, rook g1, rook h8, and of course this is the usual, okay? And the black wins. I hope that you enjoyed this endgame from Endgame Corner. Carsten Müller is definitely the guy to learn the endgame from. Do yourself a favor, really. If you want to gain 100 points in 2025, buy the book and spend at least a month on it. Just hopping from endgame to endgame and see. And you will see how things will change in your chess. Thank you very much for watching.